What up? How's it going, everybody? Sorry, I am slowly trying to figure out this new stuff again. Let's see. Perhaps this will help me. Hope you guys are well. Hope it's not too choppy as well. But yeah, hey Nathan, hey Angel, hey come on. My chat's way up here for now. On my second screen. Some of the other things that don't need to be open. But yeah, how are you guys? I hope your weekend's been well. Let's see. Can I stretch this? There we go. Alright, I've figured me out, I think. How are you guys doing? It is a little bit chilly in Edmonton over here today. No snow, but it's just been gloomy and windy the whole day. Come on, you said your weekend was good. I had a 2-week vacation because my sister was in Barbados and I couldn't go to work. Oh, okay. Well, that's I mean, I'm sorry that you weren't in Barbados with her, but 2 weeks off of work ain't bad. I just had 10 days when I was doing my show, so felt weird going back to work last week, but back to reality for a little bit. Life is good right now. Mostly. Yeah, what's up everybody? Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH After Show. I'm back in full form and ready to talk about the week that was on General Hospital. But first, we gotta talk about the Daytime Emmys. They announced the nominees for this year's award show, and I figured we'd talk about the nominees first, or the GH ones anyway. Hey Sandy. Mr. Rockstar. Not quite. Maybe one day. I did feel like one though. And I'm really looking forward to whatever I have planned for the next show. Which realistically will be probably the same exact set. Maybe a different costume. Maybe a bit more room to move around. Hey Jakarius, I've been good. How about you? Things are going well. Alright. But yeah, let's talk about the nominations for the Daytime Emmys from General Hospital. We have Finola Hughes, aka Anna Devane, and Cynthia Watros, aka Nina Carinthos. They were both nominated for Outstanding Lead Performance in a Drama Series, in the female category, of course. Then there was Robert Gossett, who plays Marshall Ashford. He was nominated for Outstanding Supporting Performance in a Daytime Series. And it should be noted that Wally Kurt, aka Ned Quartermain, is also in that category, but for his role as Justin Kyriakis? I don't know how to say it, from Days of Our Lives. Thanks, Jakarius. We also have Ali Mills, aka Heather Weber. She's been nominated again in Outstanding Guest Performance in a Drama Series. She won last year's. So I have to wonder, how long do you have to appear somewhat regularly on a show before you're not considered a guest star anymore? Seems a bit weird. She seems like she's on a lot. And then General Hospital has also been nominated in the following categories as a show itself. Outstanding Writing Team. Imagine if the previous writing team wins. That'll be so awkward. Outstanding Directing Team. Outstanding Casting. Outstanding Art Direction / Set Decoration / Scenic Design. And then Outstanding Lighting Direction. And Outstanding Original Song for the song Shine, which was sang by, and I believe even written by, Jophiel Love, who plays Violet, Finn's daughter. So GH has 11 nominations total, tied in second place with Days, and then Young and Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, are tied for first with 12 nominations each. Don't miss Chris and Dan either way. That's fair. Every now and then they had their moments, but yeah, it was just coasting along into nothing. But like, imagine having to like sit there in the table with like the new writers, knowing that you've been fired, but like you win the Emmy Awards, and then everyone's like, well, why did they leave? It seems so weird because I know, like, it feels like we just watched the Emmys, because I think we kind of did, really because of the writer's strike that happened. Everything got pushed back. Don't you find it weird and ironic with no leading men in the Best Male performing for GH? It is weird, yeah. Like, I did notice that initially too, but I know that sometimes the actors just don't admit themselves because they don't care. But we'll never know, really, because unless they share that with us, we don't know for sure. But yeah, GH definitely had significantly less actors nominated this year, which is wild. They also got rid of the younger actor / actress category. I always felt weird with that one. Eda McCoy puts herself in there, and she's like, she's 22, and she's competing with like 8-year-olds on that category. So it was always weird for me and like seeing her win last year, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this because, well, she was competing against children. But yeah, it feels like the daytime Emmys are coming up fast, so I think they're on CBS this year. I think I put that in the thumbnail as well. I forget the date though, so if you guys want to say in the chat if you know, let me know. But yeah, so like I said earlier, I'm back on the regular schedule for live streaming. So Sundays and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Just wanted to say thank you guys for being so patient and so kind about me taking time off with the live stream to get my show ready. A lot of work goes into putting on the show and, doing my first concert, and between like getting the band together in a room and practicing the songs. Of course, I practice at home as well. The stress of like, I hope they're learning it, but they're also seasoned musicians, so it's like I tried to not stress about it too much. And then doing the mixing for the backtracks and everything too is just a lot of work goes into it. So I'm glad that I was able to take time away from you guys to do it, and I'm grateful that you guys would pop in, like all of you, whenever I would be able to live stream. You guys were still there, so I appreciate that. No, when he did that play in Manhattan, a lot of work went into it. Yeah, we always just see the final products, and like intellectually I know that like what it takes to put on a show. It's just like knowing what it takes and doing it is like two different things. Like you can know like, yes, a lot of hard work goes into it. A lot of practicing, a lot of unpaid like work goes into putting a show together. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just different doing it versus seeing it done from others. You said, well, Eden didn't fit the leading woman category. The best option was young actor or actress. I get it, yeah. I do get it. It's just like it was so jarring to see like her versus children where like I feel like there should have been like a medium between younger and just like actress, like I don't even know, young adult and then children in separate categories. But now there's none, so sorry kids. Well, that's okay. Alright. So, now that we kind of got the Emmy stuff out of the way, there's not much more to say about it. Just good luck to all the nominees from GH. May the best win. But yeah, let's get into the recap, because it's been a minute, but I'm ready, and there's lots to talk about this week. So I have my notes ready. Everything's so unorganized because it's different setup for me now. But let's see. There we go. All right. So before we get into this week, in the week leading up to this past week, Mr. Jagger John Cates got beat up in an alley near Sonny's coffee warehouse. Carly rescued him and took him back to his room in the Metro Court and stayed the night to make sure to check in on him every couple of hours just in case he had a concussion. And then Carly went to Jason's new office at the Corinthos Coffee Warehouse, which he claimed the previous week, despite Sonny trying to fight him on it. Jason did note that he was behaving like he was off his meds, and of course Sonny said he's taking them because sadly he is. It's just not helping. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But yeah, Carly tells Jason about what happened with Jagger and insists she did not sleep with him to Jason. And Jason was like, copy that, which I guess is like new FBI speak for him. It's a bit silly, but yeah. And then she catches him up on what he missed in Port Charles, particularly in regards to Sonny and her relationship with him and his behavior, filling him in on the whole Nina saga, Michael's attempted revenge on Sonny when he got hard evidence against him, and then how his Sonny rose-colored glasses went back on and he backed off and they destroyed the evidence, and then also Dex's role in that situation and what his role became once Michael had changed his mind about going after Sonny, and then of course the fallout for when Sonny found out the truth, and how Sonny is not even remotely the same man any of them knew, and Jason seemed to have a hard time believing that, but even though he obviously sees his behavior, but I think Jason's struggling with like nothing's the same. Which people? What am I missing, Sandy? 45-minute man like Drew? Oh my gosh. What do you mean, Sandy? I'm curious. Or do you mean like the characters are just unrecognizable? Because that's in my notes as well. It's not in like I feel like it's a negative way. Not necessarily a negative way. Just weird things happening, but we'll talk about that later. I think, well, one thing I want to mention about Jason and Carly's conversation at the warehouse was, yes, exactly, Sandy. We'll talk about them for sure. But yeah, one thing that I wanted to point out about Jason and Carly's conversation is that the most poignant part of their conversation, which I found really interesting, was that Carly told Jason that sometimes she wondered what life would be like if she never fell in love with Sonny and stayed in love with him instead. And Jason was like, I like the way we are now. And Carly responded, I do too. Which I was genuinely surprised about, because I honestly thought they were going to go with Jarly. I'm glad that they didn't. I know Jarly has their fans and people that want them in a relationship, but I don't know. Don't fix something that's not broken, you know? They don't need to be together and in love. It's just something that I don't personally want to see myself. And I'm sorry to the Jarly fans that might want to, but I didn't want to see it. Also, Carly finally saw Jason's tattoo and asked about it. And it turns out he just felt super alone, and getting a tattoo done stopped him from going crazy and letting his thoughts wander too much. And he felt like it was the only thing that he had control over in an out-of-control situation. So I love that there wasn't like a huge story behind it, actually. Like, I thought they were going to come up with some elaborate, like, he had to do this to be in with the boys of the pikeman team or whatever. And it's just, no, he was sad and depressed and got a tattoo because it's the only thing that he could keep, because he lost everything else, which, you know, I feel like that's kind of a nice way to explain it, and then it never needs to be spoken about again. What are you guys saying? Oh yeah, I just talked about friends zoning them. Yeah, like I was genuinely surprised that they went there, because it seemed to me like they were gonna go all in with Jarly. Yeah, and why didn't Carly take Jager to the hospital? Jager refused, I guess. Jager didn't want to. And she's like, fine, if you're not going to let me take you to the hospital, then I'm staying in your room. I don't think she could have dragged his ass back into a car, though, even though he was, you know, badly beaten. To be fair. I don't know why Carly Michael can't tell Sonny is acting manic. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like, Jason's the first one that asked Sonny. But then again, Sonny's taking his meds. He just doesn't know that the meds aren't working. And I want to talk about that part of the story in a bit, but just to wrap things up on that sort of Jason Carly topic, we'll talk about Jager, because I was going to say there's definitely a relationship forming with Carly and Jager of sorts. As much as she denied it at first, they were obviously getting along well when she was taking care of him in his room. They're having a laugh, and Carly saying he has signs of a decent personality. And then later this past week, him showing up to Bobby's and flirting with her, and them exchanging phone numbers as Jocelyn and Michael kind of watched on curiously and made note of it. That said, Carly and Jason's ride or die friendship is as strong as it's ever been, and I'm sure that will cause some tension with Carly and Jager in the future if they pursue that relationship with each other. And one thing that definitely solidified the Jarly friendship is alive and well and not going anywhere is that he got Diane to convince Nina to sell her half of the Metro Court to him, so he could in turn hand it over to Carly. I find it amazing how quickly she just let him give it to her, given that we've spent, like a year and a half of her fighting everyone that tried to offer it back to her. And all it took was Jason to be like, you would have never committed insider trading and lost the Metro Court if I was here in the first place. Let me do this for you. And she's like, okay, you know? And with that, Carly's on her way back to the Metro Court. So she's in, Nina's out. All's back in order, somewhat, I guess. Also, Jason helped Carly get the gas back up and running in Bobby's. They did like a little good cop, bad cop thing with a bureaucrat that was in there. They cut off the gas, and they can't run a business without gas, and the guy said he'd pull some strings and get it back by tomorrow. So, interesting. Let's see, what am I missing in the chat here? I got 2 places to look at the chat now. The whole show is upside down. Yeah, it's very twisted right now. I'm tired of these sad little men with 2 pumps. Oh my god. I think I like the way we are now because I'm going to die soon in 2 years. I mean, if he retires, yeah. They're just going to push them down our throats later on. Charlie, it does seem like it's becoming the Carly, Sunny, Jason show again, which is not... I'm not a fan of that. I like when it feels like more of an ensemble. Hey, de Havilland. I want to know the real reason why Steve got a whole tattoo sleeve. I never knew he would get a tattoo. Wasn't it just like it had something to do with his real life divorce, and he just wanted something to sort of start the new chapter? I feel like he did address it at some point. He's on such a low dose of other meds. They're not. Yeah. He's not crazy enough to be confused. Well, he seems pretty crazy. I feel like he's more manic than he has been in the past. Don't like Malibu Ken and Carly. It's still staggering to see Jagger look like that, but if he was another character, I wouldn't hate it. It's just like, I don't know. There didn't seem like a whole much of a point to make him Jagger. You know, they could have done this with any FBI agent and it would have been mostly good. The only thing that we would have missed out on is Jagger sharing the story of Sonny and Karen to Ava and Anna. And then, I guess, bonding with Leo for that moment. But other than that, everything else is the same. Carly's a Karen clone. Carly doesn't remind me of Karen at all, to be honest. I can't wait for the showdown between Crazy Nina and Ava. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, too. What are my thoughts on Danny sneaking into Jason's room? Love that kid, but I'm looking forward to Sam and Jason's combo. I didn't really have much to say in my notes about it, but what I will say is Jason looked very impressed when he saw his kid in his leather jacket. It was a bit weird. Like, how did Danny know that he lived in that room specifically and where to go to get into it? Like, that's what I'm curious about. Like, did Jason tell him where he lives? Like, I don't understand how he figured it out. The things we miss on the show. Unless it was mentioned and I just completely missed it, but it just, I don't know. It felt weird to me. Steve Burton said on the podcast that a lot of people are going to be surprised at the scene. So I hope Jason does speak up and tell Sam that once this mess is over, he wants to be in Danny's life. I don't remember him talking about his tattoo. I'll have to Google it. Yeah, I mean, I could have imagined it, but I swear, like, he just got it, like, after his wife and him ended their marriage, and probably a very similar story to what Jason said to Carly. Probably, you know, he lost a lot, and this is something that he could hold on to and it never go away. That wouldn't surprise me. He's a slightly manic without the bar glass throwing. He just does the desk slamming. He's paranoid, thinking his family is turning against him. Yeah. All right, so let's get into Sonny then. As you guys know, Valentine messed with his meds a while back, and he's been slowly but surely spiraling into madness ever since. And there was a whole lot of speculation on if Ava was in on it or not. And we got confirmation the previous week that she's not in on it. There was an episode where she was just kind of roaming around the house late at night. She couldn't sleep. She found his meds, read the label, and it said that it does cause drowsiness, so she took 2, I think, and then it did nothing. And that sort of set off some alarm bells in her. And so the next day, she brought it to a lab to get tested, and, you know, she just said that she's the wife of the husband, and it's his prescription, and how she pulled that off, I don't know. But she basically, there is only about 10% or 10 milligrams in it as opposed to 50 milligrams that his usual dosage is. So it's very low. So far, she's been sitting on this information. Not like for very long at this point, like it's been a day, barely. But these writers have essentially slapped a big old question mark on Ava, where I'm not sure what direction they're trying to take her character right now. Because like for the most part over the last few years, Ava had pretty well been redeemed. Like just in terms of she's not in the mob anymore. She's not out committing crimes. Yeah, she's had some pretty morbid relationships with men, but like beyond that, like she's just kind of out living her life. She's got her gallery she's focused on. She's like a second mom to Trina. So like she's been pretty quiet, and when it comes to Sunny and Carly, the three of them collectively kind of got into a place where there's mutual respect among them, and they have each other's backs for Avery's sake. But now, like it seems like everyone in Port Charles is kind of weary of her all of a sudden, and they don't trust her all of a sudden. Started with Christina, and then Lois as well, Olivia too. They're getting bad vibes from her. And judging by the previews for tomorrow, Nina will be on the throw Ava under the bus train as well. Because it was actually Ava who convinced her that selling her half of the Metro Court to Sunny's best friend might get her back into his good graces. But Ava already knows Sunny hates Jason with every fiber of his being right now. So, I don't know. It's weird that she didn't mention that. And at the end of Friday's episode, Nina walked in on Sunny telling Carly that she, Nina, and Jason are all liars and all unforgivable and they all deserve each other. And Nina just glared over at Ava for that. Hey, Laura. What are you guys saying? Sorry. I gotta figure this out. There we go. Danny's house not that far from Jake's also. Just so irritated by Sam as you hate it here. Any news what room Jason was in? Because there's only like one room above Kelly's, maybe two, I guess. Did he know that he moved to Kelly's though? She does have that evil mind. Yeah. So here's my theories. I'll leave the chat for a second and just kind of I have my notes on like my theories or potential theories I guess surrounding it. Because I generally don't get Ava's angle because it seems like it's just back and forth and all over the place. Like a few weeks back, Sunny kissed her, and while she didn't seem to completely hate it, like she seemed genuinely confused that happened. Cause like what? So I was trying to figure out like is she into him now? And it's hard to read. But then I'm like, what if she wants Sunny to spiral so she could get full custody of Avery? But even before Sunny started to go, down that sort of hole of less meds and everything, she and Sunny definitely had a repertoire of Avery needs both her parents in her life. We may not like each other, but we can rally together for her sake. And I feel like that works for Ava because she wants Avery to have her father in her life. So like, I don't know if they're going to go with that, it just seems off-brand for Ava and how protective she is of Avery, of giving her as normal of a life as she can and having a father figure and a mother figure and, people like Carly in her life that's always going to be there. So I don't know. Like if that's not the case, what else is there? Because right now I see a woman who is aware his meds are messed up and she's not said anything to him, but she didn't hesitate to tell him about Dex joining the PCPD, knowing he was off his meds, and foams at the mouth at the sounds of anyone he feels betrays him right now. So I don't know, I feel like as bad as the past was with Sunny and Ava for a lot of valid reasons, I don't think Ava would see him acting the way he is, knowing what she knows and utilizing that for her, because he's been protecting her. He's been protecting Avery. He moved her in. He took her to Puerto Rico. Like, all these different things. I just don't see her, the person that she is now, taking advantage of that. Because he's been nothing but nice to her, obviously, this whole time. And even, like, the last few years, like I said, before he went sort of down the spiral, like, they had a respect for each other, that they would kind of clue each other in on certain things. So I don't know. Ava needs to fix his meds or tell him. He will thank her in the long run if she does the right thing. There was a sneak peek of the Nina and Ava's scenes, and I do wonder if she's gonna tell Nina about it, because obviously Nina's going to confront Ava, thinking she's a backstabber and whatever. But Ava, if she is concerned for Sonny, then she will fill her in on what's going on. Like, his meds are out of whack. He's acting manic. He's not himself. Something's up. I noticed something was off, but now I know the reason, and I had it confirmed today. Like, that's what I anticipate might happen tomorrow. We'll see. Can't wait to see Ava play with Nina. We need Ava, Sonny, Nina war. I don't know. I just don't see a war happening unless I just don't see Ava taking an advantage of Sonny's mental state. Especially, given what happened to Morgan. Like, I think her lesson was learned, you know what I mean? Like, last time she messed with someone that had bipolar disorder and messed with their meds, it ended badly for her. I don't see her doing a repeat performance, given how it took her this long to at least be civil with Sonny and Carly. I think because Chris and Dan used to write it like Blair on One Life to Live with Ava, but there's no way to write Ava. DG, you said, I hope Liz and Patrick are shaking things up and turning Ava back to the dark side. I love Maura West wicked. She's one of the few new hires under Valentini I like. I loved it when she seduced Morgan. I think it felt like Ava was definitely trying to seduce Sonny, and he's totally vulnerable. I mean, I can see her being toxic in the sense that, like, she's got this attractive man in her quarters. He hates Nina with every fiber of her being. She likes the attention she's giving him, but I just don't see her, like, keeping him off his meds, because she knows if he continues this, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And like I said, she knows what dire things can happen. Yeah, he was sniffing the man's cologne. She wants him. Yeah, like, that's what I think it is. Like, she wants him, and she's torn because Nina's her friend, but Sonny doesn't want Nina, and she doesn't want to hurt Nina's feelings, but they're developing these feelings, and it's hard to say. They are regressing some of these characters. Who knows? Who knows with Ava? Yeah, we'll get into, like, a couple of, like, the other sort of notable changes in characters and stories in a bit. But yeah, by the way, Sonny, like, it is getting worse for Sonny, because we also learned that it was Sonny who got Jagger beat up in the alley. Not that we didn't expect it. I think we all kind of collectively guessed that was the case, given what we know about Sonny right now. But just saying that we did see Brick and Sonny discuss what happened, and that a civilian, Carly, took him and helped him out. But yeah, now let's get into the other characters that have made, like, a 180 turn. And it's still in regards to Sonny, but it's in regards to characters surrounding him. So, lately, since Patrick and Liz took over the writing, it's like someone lifted the rose-colored glasses off of Anna, the police commissioner, and Laura, the mayor, and they suddenly realized, yeah, maybe we should actually focus on crimes our dear friend Sonny Corinthos committed, instead of looking the other way because he gives generous donations to the hospital and was nice to people that we love. Like, Like they're all in on taking Sonny down all of a sudden, and it's so bizarre, but like as it should be. Like this is how like a police commissioner and a mayor should be acting. It's the flip to it is jarring. Like it's such a reversal of what we've seen that it's bizarre to watch. And it's like one of those things where it's like I don't hate it because it's as it should be. I just hate how they didn't take their time undoing it in a way that seemed natural. But yeah, like Laura went to Cyrus and convinced him to give a statement so that they could pursue this and press charges against Sonny. And Cyrus mentioned not only him confirming that Sonny beat him up, but he also mentioned Dex trying to kill him. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah. And also, like, Anna's getting the statement that Cyrus gave to her and the statement that Dex gave to her, and is biding her time to press charges against Sonny with them and to go forward with it. The weirdest part about this, though, is that for whatever reason, she specifically wants Molly to handle the case, to handle the court, like as the ADA, and I'm like, how does this make sense? Like, why is, like, Anna's excuse was, oh, you know how to be fair. I was like, I'm pretty sure the other ADAs do too, and they're not related to him. Like, it just seems so bizarre that she's so, like, to the point where she was yelling at Molly, like, you're doing this for me, and threatening her job over it if she doesn't. Like, that made no sense to me. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. I haven't done those videos in a while, but so weird. I thought Sonny knew Dex was becoming a cop before Ava told him. No, I don't remember him finding out. I think they gotta show a more evil side of Sonny. For the reasons why they want to arrest Sonny. I think because Chris and Dan, nobody was trying to write Sonny like he was a bad guy, or like he wasn't a bad guy. Yeah, like he is a bad guy, and it's just that like everyone just kind of, they focus so much on like the good that he's done that they brush all the bad under the table. And I've always hated that. So I like, don't get me wrong, again, I'm glad that they are pulling their head out of their asses and putting their professionalism in front of their history. It's just that it's too jarring in how they did it, and I wish there was just more care to it. Because now we're just kind of like, well, okay, I guess we're here now. Like with most of the stories, like it's weird. Are we supposed to believe Cyrus is a frail old helpless man? I want to get into that as well, because that, I think that was actually next to my notes too. Let me check. But just to wrap up the Molly thing quickly here. Yeah, Cyrus is literally next to my notes. But yes, just to wrap the Molly thing up, I think that the only reason, sorry, to me that makes sense, is like just to give drama for Christina and Molly, because Molly has to go after her father Sonny, and she adores Sonny, and it's gonna affect the baby, and blah blah blah, and I don't know. It's just, I feel like that's just for the drama of that, and I hate things like that where it's like this was clearly being pushed just to serve a plot point that doesn't need that. They could find conflict elsewhere for Christina and Molly if they wanted to give them conflict. Also, the baby is due in August, apparently. This is a fast pregnancy. Alright, but yeah, let's talk about Cyrus next. Because all of a sudden, they seem to be writing him as a genuinely changed man. Like we all know under the previous regime, they were very clearly making his redemption a fake one. He probably killed Austin. Not a thing anymore either. I'm pretty sure they just dropped that as well as Ava Stalker. Like, they haven't mentioned it for months. And let's be real, most of us didn't care about Austin anyway, but so I'm not really sad about it. But like, that happened, we saw it, and it was a pretty good guess that Cyrus did it. But yeah, so like, for me, in Kristen Dan's sort of version of Cyrus that's super religious and acting like redemption, like he's been redeemed and found God and all this stuff, it felt like Jeff Kober was really playing it that way so that we could see that it's obviously a fake redemption in Kristen Dan's tenor. Like, just in the tone of his voice, how he said things, the look in his eyes, like, you knew he was faking it. Now he's playing it like he's actually a changed man, and they even made a point of him owning up to how he got his radio show. You know, Nina offering him a radio show for his silence and to not press charges against Sonny. He admitted that to Laura. And then, by the way, he doesn't have the radio show anymore, so that's dropped, because apparently he hated the sound of his own voice, and now he sees how ridiculous it is for an ex-con to be preaching to someone on the radio. Like, I don't know. So, like, Cyrus still isn't a fragile old man. But that's what I'm saying, like, it feels like he got pep to his step. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know where the fragile old man thing is supposed to be from. But for whatever reason, they've made that the narrative with the character. I don't get it. Anna was working on my nerves. How she was talking to Molly this week. Sonny is Molly's uncle. She's not Rick. She doesn't want to prosecute Sonny. It is a conflict of interest. Yeah. Also, to that end, like, I feel like I had this in my notes much later, but I'll get it out of the way now. I don't, like, it feels, actually, this works for both the Anna and Molly scene and what TJ has said over the last little while. They're pushing Sonny being Christina's father more than Molly is also related to Sonny. Like over the last few weeks, we've seen TJ be like, you know, Christina's Sonny's father, that could bring danger to the family. I'm like, Molly's his niece. Molly is his niece. Like, I don't understand why they're pushing that, and they're just like conveniently like not mentioning that Sonny's brother is Molly's father. Like either way, regardless if Christina was a surrogate or some random stranger on the street was a surrogate, Sonny's still that baby's family because of Christina and Molly. So that part's just confusing to me. And to that end, like, Molly did, it was like a blink and you missed it moment, but she brought up like that Sonny was her uncle. But Anna was just so focused on Sonny being Christina's father, and same with TJ. I just, it's weird. It's so weird. I really hope Liz and Patrick aren't planning to truly redeem Cyrus. That would be boring. I mean, who knows? One thing I will point out, I don't know if you guys seen it. I'm sure some of you have. Steve and Bradford had Eden McCoy on their podcast, and they were talking about the changes in the writing. Oh, that was actually in my notes too. But so yeah, according to Steve Burton and Eden McCoy, the whole cast is really excited that there's been this huge shakeup, and that no one really knows what's next for any of their characters, because it seems like they cleaned the slate and they're starting fresh, and they're making the show to what they want it to be, regardless of how jarring it appears to be. And Steve even went as far as by saying, he didn't drop names, but he said some of the veterans on the show are saying they haven't been this excited for a script since the 90s. So I'm just here waiting to be just as stoked as they seem to be about the show as they are. But I'm still I want to be just stoked as they are, is what I'm saying. But I'm still trying to get past the weirdness of like how jarring and how quick and how 180 all these changes are, because it's all at once and it's hard to keep up at this point. It's like we stepped into an alternate reality, and this is just where we are right now. That said, I am noticing some good changes too, and I don't know. I feel like surely there's more shakeups that we're not aware of. And the reason I say that, and I'm talking behind the scenes, I'm not talking with the actors, I'm not talking about with the writing. I'm talking about maybe like other parts of GH, like perhaps wardrobe and makeup. One thing I'm noticing is that Maxie's looking a lot. They're dressing her better. They're making her more of a fashionista. Her makeup's been much better. Like, they're putting her in better clothes, and on top of that, they're giving Maxie a lot of her old personality back. And I don't hate that, because I've been begging for that for years now. I'm saying it's about damn time that they started to give Maxie some feist back. But yeah, basically, when it comes to Maxie and the story she's in right now, deception has been in shambles lately. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. I gotta take some water. Deception is in shambles, and it's in large part because of Lucy. They have Lucy acting like a complete airhead on Home and Heart. She had to do like a product placement thing, and she spent her entire segment talking about herself, her books, her real estate, her being the host of the Nurses Ball, like all these things, not talking about the product at all, refusing to take her makeup off to show how the product works, nothing. And Lois basically ran to the Q stables where she's been working and begged Sasha to save the segment, and Sasha went with her and saved the segment in overalls and everything. And the host of Haven Heart apologized for her behavior towards her, but she couldn't call it an apology because that might give her grounds to sue. But I think that's as sincere as we're going to see that woman. What are y'all saying, though? Yeah, Molly's mother and sister had babies with Sonny, yeah. Now all GH needs to do is get rid of Frank. You might not be wrong. TJ makes no sense. Molly is Sonny's niece. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. New writer and producer changes always change the shows radically. Well, I mean, we've seen the writers switch up, and it's never been this jarring. Like, to put things in perspective, completely unrelated to GH, I watched the show 911. It moved from Fox Network to ABC recently, and the stories are so different already. And they've added new layers to certain characters, and I feel like there's a lot more campy humor to 911 now on ABC than there was on Fox. So it feels like I'm watching a bit of a new show. I don't hate it, but there is a noticeable change there in the tone of the show. And it's just that the original writer came back. The original writer from the first couple of seasons, but I don't remember the first couple of seasons being that campy either. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, back to GH though. Maxie has been looking good. Yeah, she's looking great. They rebounded back to the 90s style writing. We'll see. I don't think we're quite there yet. Morgan Fairchild. Is that the actress that plays Haven? Lucy's immaturity can be quite annoying. Her character is like a lot like Tina Lord on One Life to Live. They both never quite grew up. But I feel like that's another change with Lucy. Like, yeah, she's always been annoying, and like kind of self-obsessed, but not to the point where she's gonna tank her own company. So that's like, she was, at the very least, seemed like a smart businesswoman. So I don't know. Because there's different writers writing in the show. But I just feel like they've revamped so much more than we know about. just because of all the changes we're seeing. Even in the costumes, a lot of the costumes are a lot nicer too, overall, not just Maxie's wardrobe, but a lot of people I find are having better hairstyles these days, better clothing choices. It's great. Well, no, like, listen, I've seen enough. Like, I've been through Guza and Srirayo, the stand-ins for the writer strikes over the years, Garen Wolf, and then Frank Valentini Ron Carlivati, and then whoever came before Dan and Chris, and then Dan and Chris and these guys. I've seen a lot. I've seen enough. But, and yeah, like, writers kill people off and do this and that, but like, to reverse their characters in such a big way, and every single character seems so jarring and extreme. I don't know. Maxie looks better at acting more herself. That's what I'm loving about Maxie, is that she does seem like herself again. So I don't suddenly feel as iffy about a Spixie reunion. If they're gonna bring back Maxie's personality to what it was, and make her like fun to sort of watch, then I think I won't mind Spixie. But yeah, the funniest scene pertaining to that story anyway was Maxie getting back to the office afterwards in total meltdown mode, and she's flustered and dropping things and crawling on the floor and screaming into the void as Felicia comes in and is essentially her listening ear. And she just rants and raves about Lucy. And I just seen so much of like Maxie's old personality in there. And it's also, obviously she's not like, Maxie was a bit toxic back then, but she's not toxic. She's just like, Maxie's saying what's on her mind again, and Maxie's being feisty, and Maxie's clapping back, and Maxie's telling it like it is. And those are the things that I missed about Maxie, because I felt like for many years Maxie was just kind of like over it all and had no life left to give, and it feels refreshing to see that back into her again. Like, I'm ready for a renaissance, you know what I mean? Like, I want Maxie to like take over. Wait, if she doesn't take over Deception, like take on Crimson, or like be in Crimson again, and then take it over for and I don't know. I just want her to be like the fashionista that she was, and like kick ass and take names and become a icon in the fashion industry. Lucy on Port Charles is more put together. Lucy on GH is a disaster. Like, what gives? This is the same universe. Oh man. Murder Trail needs a new hairstyle. Y'all know that Jane Elliott was a producer on Passions. I did not know, but that's so bizarre. Because they know how to write Maxie, even though I didn't like her with Spinelli. I always found the addition to make her date like a tall, handsome type, not somebody with like us. I mean, yeah, Maxie was very superficial, and I think Spinelli was unexpected, but I think the reason why they went with it back then is because people were responding to them. They wanted them together, and they saw that they had lightning in a bottle, and they just, they ran with it, and it worked for a long time. That said, like, they had to mature and grow at some point, and then it might not work as well, but as long as they keep Maxie's personality intact with her maturity, like, they can do both. They can still make her like feisty without making her immature. Like a more muscular Spinelli. Oh man, I love the change that sudden judgment is coming for Sonny, and he's so paranoid that his arrogance isn't shining through. Maurice Bernard is handling the change well. Yeah, I think, don't get me wrong, I think that all of the actors are doing what they need to do. Like, we got the best actors in daytime, in my opinion. I'm not worried about them showcasing their confusion at how the script was flipped. because they're just, at the end of the day, they're reading the script and they're being told to play this way, and they're doing it. That's their job. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Loving. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Laura Wright was on Passions. I actually want Brooklyn to take over Deception. I've never been into Amanda Setton in the role, but pairing her with Jane Elliott has revitalized her. Finally, the character is interesting to me. Yeah, I really love Tracy and Brooklyn's relationship. And I honestly, I also love, I think Rena Sofer and Amanda Setton play off of each other quite well as well. And that Brooklyn accent comes out when she's hanging out with Rena. So yeah, I'm liking that. They just gotta put her in scenes with the right people, you know? Alright, let's switch gears though. Let's talk about Dex for a moment. Just because we have to. As you guys know, he's becoming a cop. Anna thinks it's the best way to protect him from Sonny. And Dex went through his training, which was, bar none, the most cringe montage I think the show has ever done. It was like so unrealistic. It was so unrealistic. And Dex looked like an idiot out there, the way he was running and the way he was pointing the gun. And I could not take any of that seriously. I was laughing the entire time. Like, what is this? This is horrible. Like, not even the fact that this scene was shot outside could salvage that scene for me. It was so bad. It was so bad. I would have rather it happened off screen and him just coming in sweaty and Chase being like, well done. They could have just had that and I would have been okay with that. Now, Jocelyn obviously still cares about Dex, even though they're broken up, and she doesn't want him to become a cop because she thinks that Sonny will kill him for sure. Trina had to play referee among them at one point to get out of to try and tell them to get out of their own way, because she feels like it's weird that they're acting like strangers. You know, they were all four of them really with Spencer were very close at one point. Even Spencer and Dex were starting to get along. And now she's lost Spencer, and here Jocelyn and Dex are avoiding each other but clearly still love each other because of something that she's not aware of, I think, right? She doesn't know the whole story. But yeah, like, it's... Hopefully Spencer does come back, because obviously Joss and Dex are going to try to be civil and hang out with her, and if they get back together, she's just the third wheel again. And I hate seeing her as the third wheel. What are you guys saying? Good lord, the training session with Dex was so cringy. We could have had something better than this in the first place. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the training session shot in the dang studio backlot was the stupidest thing I've seen in decades. It was pathetic. Poor Evan Hoffer did his best to make it work, though. I love the guy. I think the character is not that interesting, but Evan is as a person. Oh, you like Evan as a person? Yeah, that's true, DG. Like, Evan seems like he's such a fun guy in real life, and just Dex, I don't know. Like, Evan's such a goofball and Dex is supposed to be so serious, and I think you could just tell that while he has like a what's the word I'm looking for? He has like a masculine demeanor in his face, but then the actions, like, he just looked like so like he doesn't run ever and he doesn't point a gun ever, and like it was just hard to take seriously. I have a sneaking suspicion that Nick Chavez is done. Yeah, listen, I'm kind of rolling with the punches in the sense that I think that they could bring Spencer back, but they're either Nick Chavez is gonna come back in the role having not found success with this new show, or someone else is gonna play Spencer. But like, I don't think they're just gonna have them dead, because I think Spencer as a character played by the right actor is a compelling character. and complex, and like someone that writers would want to write for. They'd want the right actor suited, and I think in a perfect world it would be Nick Chavez, but we all kind of know, like, dude is like top tier actor just in a general sense. He kills it like on GH, like he's doing like a freaking big screen movie. Like he made that whole Greenland Cassadine plot like more watchable as like cheap as the sets were and everything. Just how he played that story. He acted like he was on a big movie set doing this thing. And it's a rare thing to have an actor make a show look that realistic, especially with this much low of a budget. They wanted to get outside, guys, let them be. They could have shot, you know what, they could have had just him at the end of the session sweating outside in the lot. That would have been enough, you know? That would have been enough. Or at least hire a stunt double that looks like they know what they're doing. Ay, Lord. They try to make a Jason clone. Evan is very sweet, funny, and kind. Unfortunately, I don't think he's well suited for this role. Dex acts like a boy. That's why he fits with Joss. He just looks mature. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it, Angel, honestly. Hope they reach out to Nick Bechtel to reprise the role. We'll see. Did anyone here really believe he would renew his contract after landing Monster? Well, the thing is, like, was his contract up, though? Like, they let him go on leave. So I think what I could see happening in a world where Nick Chavez comes back is that he'll just wrap up what he owes GH. And then the character will exit, or they'll recast him. It looked like downtown LA. The gun looked like a cap gun. Him dragging the dummy made me laugh so hard. Me too, DG, me too. Alright, anyway, back to it. Jocelyn at some point goes and pays Anna a visit at the PCBD and begs her not to hire Dex because she thinks Sonny will surely kill him. And since Jocelyn knew about John getting beaten up, she flat out tells her that Sonny beat up an FBI agent with no regrets, so killing a cop probably won't faze him at this point, and she wants her to remember this conversation when she's at his funeral, and she said, "Don't you dare hand me that flag if we make eye contact." But also, like, we can pretend that Sonny wouldn't do this if he had his head on straight, but he definitely already did before. He shot Dante point blank in the chest, knowing he was a cop. So, like, and he was on his medication then, so he just didn't know that was his son, but, like, he still shot a cop in cold blood. So, I don't know. And surely Anna knows about this. I know that she wasn't on the show when that happened between Dante and Sonny, but she seems very close to Sonny and Dante. I'm sure people have talked about it at the PCPD. You know, I think that realistically Dante's probably always gotten whispers about who his father is and maybe questioned on if he's like crooked or not and all these other things, but I don't know. I think Anna knows that. So it seems weird that she just assumes he'll be safe. And now that she knows that Sonny was the one behind Jagger getting beaten up, like, maybe it'll make her pursue it faster, I don't know. But maybe she'll have second thoughts on hiring Dex. But I guess we'll find out. Dex and Cyrus ran into each other, by the way, at the PCPD as well. And Dex apologized for what he was supposed to do to him, and that he said that he was there to, because he took a wrong turn in life, and he's trying to make it right now, and trying to correct things. And Cyrus says, "I'm pretty much here doing the same thing." But Cyrus definitely seemed like a bit like, you did what you did, and you should pay for it. But yeah. Like, I don't think she knows, or maybe, no, I think, did Anna tell Cyrus I think Anna told Cyrus that Dex was trying to get his life together. So we'll see. By the way, since we talked about Dante, he's back at work. And his first order of business is to throw Chase a bachelor party because Finn shit the bed and the plans fell apart. So they're going to apparently have their axe throwing pub be the spot for his bachelor party. Do we have a name for that pub yet? We've seen it a few times now at this point. It's a cool set, honestly. I like it. And I think Brooklyn's bachelorette party is happening. It looked like it was at the Savoy, and I wonder if that's the private party that was happening. That would be hilarious. Oh, man. But I seen in the preview, Lois had like a boa, and I'm like, please, God, let her pop out of a cake again. That would be such a good callback to do. Jump from the... Oh. I was going to say, if they let Dex jump from the mob to cop with no percussions, I was going to roll my eyes big time. You just don't do that and live. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it seems stupid that Anna would think that that would work. Like, I don't know. Whatever. But I mean, if anything, like, if Dex dies, which could be a possibility... We don't know what they're gonna do, these writers. They don't. The actors don't know what they're doing either. So like, Dex could die, and that'll just be another thing that Sonny does, that he could get thrown in jail for. The issue is, there's one like elephant in the room with this situation, at least, from the timeline of Cyrus and him beating up Cyrus and anything he's done since then, beating up John. Potentially trying to kill Dex, I'm sure, will come up. He is off medication. And someone's going to argue for him that he was not in his right sound of mind when he did those things, and the charges will get dropped or lessened or something as a result. So I don't know. We'll see. Going back to Brooklyn and Chase, though, they had a surprisingly mature conversation about money. For those not keeping track, Chase sold his truck so that he could give Brooklyn the honeymoon of her dreams. She wanted to go to Florence, so he sold his truck to be able to afford to take her there. Brooklyn felt bad about that, and she was all in to just surprise him with a new truck, but Tracy stopped her from doing it because she believes that Chase is very traditional, and will feel a type of way about, the Quartermain heiress buying him a truck, and she's probably right. But that's the conversation that led them to have a conversation about money, and finding a balanced compromise that works for both of them in the years to come with that. Not sure if I saw the interview of Michael Fairman's channel between him and Finola. How long ago was it filmed though? I think on GH's Instagram. Well, we know the wedding's coming because they're having the bachelorette party and the bachelor party tomorrow. So usually it means that the wedding is happening the next day. But also that interview that Steve and Bradford did with Eden, they alluded to the entire cast is there for reasons they cannot say, which is crazy. They're all together working on something together. I hope it's just like a really big storyline that's going to be epic, but I don't know. Like, man, if Patrick and Elizabeth somehow bring back the big budget sweep stunts, I would be so down for that. And they could probably do it justice too, because they were around for like some big sweep moments of the 90s and the 2000s. So yeah, Sonny's meds are off, so he will get off. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about it. And then maybe Anna and Laura will feel guilty. I hope they don't undo like this new what's the word I'm looking for? This new path that Laura and Anna are on when it comes to Sunny Corinthos. I have a feeling that Sunny will be locked up at Ferncliff instead of Pentonville. Or maybe that weird spa one that, that, you know, Ryan Chamberlain was in, and Esme and Heather. If I was Molly, I would go work for Diane at her firm. Yeah, why not? Alexis will likely be there soon, too. If some rich woman wanted to marry me and pay for everything, I'd be down. No pride here. I mean, I wouldn't say no to certain things, probably, but, like, I would also feel maybe slightly weird about, like, someone spending all their money on me. Like, I don't even like when people buy me drinks, okay? Like, now I've just learned to accept it, and I'm just like, fine, whatever. But I hate it. Unless it's like my birthday or something, then I don't care. I don't feel any type of way about it. But yeah. Judging by Dex's training scene, the show has the cheapest budget. I wouldn't hold out for big action stories. Well, they can. No, what I mean is like, because they obviously they move the budget around to make bigger things happen. So maybe, like, obviously we're not gonna get like the Metro Court explosion type of sweep stunt, but we like to get them all in a room and have like a hostage situation. Like, they can do that without blowing something up, you know what I mean? Just something that brings the entire cast together for a story. And we know that they're doing something all together right now. They're keeping tight-lipped about it, but yeah. They gotta distance themselves from Sunny because of their jobs, but them acting brand new that Sunny is a mobster is wild. Yeah, I think the funniest scenes to come from this switch with Sunny, or how certain people see certain people on the show, was when Jocelyn deadass asked Carly if Jason has ever killed someone. I'm like, you've been new, haven't you? Like, why do you suddenly not realize, like, did Jason ever kill somebody? Yeah, he was Sunny's right-hand man. What did you think? Like, that was wild. And, like, Sunny beating someone up was, like, Anna's breaking point. And someone who, like, arguably deserved it. You know what I mean? Like, someone who's just as scummy as he is. But yeah, the whole old man narrative is so weird. When they find out Sunny's meds have been switched, Anna and Laura will feel guilty and will owe Sunny a big apology. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, that's where I see it going. I don't want it to go there, but like, it'll go there. Yeah, I miss those big events too. I mean, the last one we got was the pathogen scare in 2012, I think, so. And that was impressive, considering the budget was even lower than it was, like, in 2007, for example. They did their thing, and they went on location somewhere outside of the studio, not just, like, the studio lot, out on a pier with a boat, and fires, and special effects, and all this good stuff. But yeah, I'd like to see something like that again soon. And I hope they do. It's true, Kaiwan. Alright, man, we're still going on these notes. Lots to talk about today, guys. Well, actually not much more. But, well, let's get into, like, Finn, like the Finn clan, like Gregory and all that for a moment. I found they wrote them pretty decent this week. We had Alexis and Finn checking in with each other after an AA meeting, and having Alexis open up about potentially getting her law license back to him, and how if she doesn't get back, or get it back, it might cause her to drink, and she's worried about it. And Finn opened up to how he's been tempted to drink given what's going on with his father. And I like that they they kind of circled back to, I know we never see it, but like they're still in their AA meetings and they're doing what they need to do, and they're checking in with each other, and that's not changed over the years, because it's really the thing that kind of bonded Alexis and Finn initially, right? So I don't know, I just appreciate that they've kind of circled back to it. We also saw Gregory and Elizabeth kind of check in with each other. I think Gregory was kind of on edge, expecting Elizabeth to be babying him over, you know, what he wants to eat and how he wants to eat it, because he might drop it on the floor and stuff, but that wasn't the case. And she just reassured him, like, no, I just want to know if you like the burger or not, like. And then they had like a nice conversation about what Elizabeth's going through. Obviously, she's going through some weird times with Jake because Jake hates Jason so much, and she has her own sort of annoyance with Jason right now for not being open about what's happened the last 2 years, and being so cryptic about it, and it's frustrating for her. But she also doesn't want to step on any toes, and she wants Jake to have his father in his life. It's just awkward right now. So I liked those scenes between Elizabeth and Gregory. I like that, like they're having people share scenes that don't normally, like in terms of the Finn clan. Like Gregory and Elizabeth, even though like Elizabeth is with his son, they don't share that too many scenes that pertain to her and what she's going through. So it's nice to kind of have that happen for her. And then we also saw Gregory talking with TJ, as I mentioned earlier, about TJ's personal life. It was like random, but I was like, okay, this is cool. But yeah. The only other thing really to mention, I think, and let me know if I've forgotten anything, Jordan and Brick. I don't have anything to say. Like, it's hard to take it seriously, like, because he's just like a guest star that got hired because he's a fan of Sonny Corinthos and GH. And like, because he's a sports announcer. Not that he's, like, it's not like he's a bad actor, but like, he's a character that steps in and out. How am I supposed to invest in Jordan and Brick as a couple when he's traveling across the world dealing with clients and all this stuff? Like, what? This is the best they could do for Jordan. The woman that plays her is gorgeous, and they give her Brick. That's all I had to say on Brick and Jordan. But yeah, beyond that, I don't have a heck of a lot more to say. Yeah, there's literally killed the father, end this marriage. Brick acts like a horny teenager. His thirstiness is ridiculous. Yeah, it's true. Ava gaslighted Sonny into believing that AJ killed Connie when it was Ava who killed her. No, she's convincing Sonny that Jason had shot Dante, and she said that she is the person that Sonny can trust. Well, that's the thing, though, is like Ava hasn't been that person in a long time, is what I was getting at earlier. Because I don't think Ava's been roasted and toasted so much by Sonny and Carly that I don't think she wants to put herself in a position where it's going to happen again and make things far worse for her and her daughter. Like, I think Ava, for all her flaws and everything over the years, like, she's definitely grown as a person. You know what I mean? Like, so to revert her completely back into that orbit, I don't know. Like, I guess it's, like I said, it's unpredictable. A lot of characters are doing 180s, but they're being, I don't know, they're not being as transparent about whatever they're doing with Ava as they are to other characters. While everything that's been going on with the characters is jarring, at least we kind of see the line that they're going down. Like, okay, Anna and Laura are going hard down the line of, we need to take Sonny down because he's committing crimes and we've been looking past it for too long. Like, those kind of things. Like you can see like the directions, but with Ava, it's It's like a mystery, and that's bothering me. I don't like not knowing. I want to know who Ava is. Tanisha Harper deserves so much better. I agree. I want Curtis back in Jordan's orbit. Screw Portia. She's whiny and weak. Oh, man. I don't think I want Jordan and Curtis back together, though. Because Jordan deserves better than Curtis. Like, the way he, like, rebounded to her so quick when Portia, like, got caught in a lie. So, I don't know. Jordan deserves better than Curtis. And Tanisha Harper deserves better as an actress. Like, nothing more needs to be said on that front. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole recap. I don't think I missed anything. And if I did, it probably wasn't too important. But unless you guys have something to bring up, I'll end the live stream shortly here. I'm intrigued to see what GH will do this week. I don't know when the daytime Emmys are, but I'll try to watch them. I think that it's probably not for like another month or so, I'm guessing, at the very least. Again, it just feels so weird because it feels like we just watched the daytime Emmys. But it's just because of the pushback with the strike, so. I know a lot of people online are not a fan of Brick, aka Stephen A. Smith on GH. It's getting ugly. Like on social media. This is why I don't go on social media for soaps. I follow like the IG page and that's about it. And the actresses pages. Mostly I stay focused on the actors and actresses' personal pages. And I tend to avoid, or I try my best to avoid the comments. Curtis is so ill in the romance department. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because Donnell is fine. They could make him, like, easily leading man material, but they write him to be such a jerk. Speaking of giving, like, a character a refresh, give him a refresh. Obviously, now he's walking again. I don't think we brought that up in the chat because it kind of happened the week before, but give him a new direction. Make him more likable because Donnell is a great actor, and it sucks that they make Curtis so hard to like. Soap Twitter is ridiculous. If you don't like Sabrina or Tabiana, they call you racist. Soap Twitter is ridiculous just in general, and that's why I'm not on Twitter. Like, just I the only time I'll creep Twitter to get my screenshots for the thumbnails on these videos. That's it. That is it. That's all I do. I'm like, I don't like engage in any of the conversations. I just look for the pictures and maybe the trailers, the sneak peeks, if that at all, because I can get most of those things anywhere else. But realistically, the Soap Twitter or GH's Twitter is the best place for screenshots of the episodes. So that's my relationship with Twitter. But yeah, Soap Twitter has always been insane, and I've always heard the stories, and I'm just like, no, y'all can have that. I'll stay in my YouTube bubble, thank you. Maybe scroll Tumblr. That's about it. But anyway, I'm gonna end the live stream here, I think. I will be on this Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Same time as tonight, but Wednesday. Dan Kroll from Sub Central, okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing Wednesday yet. It might just be like a hangout and talk about the show thus far. I don't really have any reaction ideas. Maybe we'll think of some classic ideas for May, for the month of May. And then, as far as another show goes, now that the show has kind of got itself together, I mean my concerts, my next concert. Now that we kind of know what we're doing, it's just a matter of just refreshing ourselves. So I don't think it'll be as stressful to get back into jam space and find time to just be. It won't be as hectic. So when another concert comes up, which potentially could be like June-ish. We'll see. I don't have a date yet, but like less than 3 months for sure. But not like a month away. That's all I got. And then if we can swing it, then I'll just not rehearse on Sundays if I can swing that. Just depends on the availability of the jam space. But yeah, y'all, I am going to call it a night. You guys have a good week. I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. We'll check in about the show then. And yeah, if you like this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. We're at 980. So I'm like 20 away from 1,000, which is crazy. It'd be cool if we can hit that before the end of the year. I feel like that's a long time. But I'm a small fry in a big land here. All right. But yeah, good night, everyone. Have a good one. I didn't push the button yet. Bye.